All right, and we are back for episode 4 of the fourth quarter podcast. I am Ned Storer, and with me today we have Grant Robinson, as always, Dermot O'Kelly, fresh from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore with the Ravens, and making his podcast debut, we have special guest Ivey Cheney IV, fresh out of Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Let's go.
Good to have you on the show.
Yep, Ivey's a big Cowboys fan. Was a tough day for the Cowboys. We're recording this Sunday night after the 1 and 4 o'clock games just wrapped up. So we'll be talking Cowboys. We'll be talking week 3. We'll be talking week 2 as well. And there's a lot to get into. So let's just get rolling with the content here. First of all, I think we should address what went down in Baltimore today. The Baltimore Ravens played host to the Indianapolis Colts, who were without their starting quarterback, without their starting center. The Colts went into Baltimore and got a W in overtime. How are we feeling?
I want to hear Dermot's reaction to this.
How are we feeling?
Well,
Just start.
congrats
ranting.
to Gardner Minshew on winning his first game against a team with a winning record. I did not think it would be us, but that kind of sucks. Overall, just a shitty game for the Ravens. I believe 2 fumbles, maybe 3 in the first half. Just ugly football. Lamar didn't particularly have a terrible game, but down the line, we absolutely had opportunities to win that game, and we did not take advantage. Both at the end of the fourth, when we could have run out the clock, or gone on a field goal drive, and in overtime 2 times, we could have put ourselves in
Y'all
field
could
position.
have sealed that game 5 times.
There's some bad decisions by the refs, but I don't want to focus too much on that. Just
Correct.
on the Ravens improving before 2 big AFC North matchups away from home against the Browns and Steelers the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, there were a couple bad calls, but the Indianapolis Colts went into hostile territory against a team that, in our opinion at least, has been contending for the AFC Championship for a few years now and got a W without 2 of its best players. So that's huge. As a Colts fan, I could not be happier with how the season started. Like Dermot said, the Ravens did not look great today. They turned the ball over a lot, but I think the biggest problem was the lack of a downfield threat that you guys had. You guys had no real explosive plays offensively. Zay Flowers is a guy that you guys should be getting in the open field.
Bro?
We really didn't use Bateman much. Now we used Zay Flowers a lot, but it was all underneath.
Yeah. He was running a lot of hooks, finding the pockets in the zone.
And the Colts defense were playing high up, so they were stopping the yards after catch on those, and I just don't think we felt confident enough going consistently to Aguilar deep against you guys' corners.
You don't think you can send anybody deep? Did you not see what
No,
Zay?
you can send Zay Flowers for sure, but there were definitely some questionable play calling.
Okay, that's.
I actually agree with that.
We tried the deep ball enough.
No.
The run game seemed to be working pretty well. It was moving us down the field, but I mean, just an ugly first half, and then the end of the game, we did not wrap up how we should have.
Right. Lamar only averaged 6.5 yards per attempt, which is well below his career average. And the Ravens had opportunities to win that game, I think, but they just didn't execute and make plays when it happened. Yeah. Ivy, what do you think?
Well, speaking of Zay Flowers, I don't think in the 3 weeks that I've seen him on live and on Red Zone, I don't think I've seen him catch a ball that wasn't on a screen. I don't know if they're worried about throwing him the ball deep, or they're just really confident in his ability to catch a screen pass and make something out of it, kind of like what they do in San Francisco with Debo.
Yeah, just let him eat.
Yeah, but I don't know. I agree with Ned. I think having their running backs super depleted, something's bad when you have Melvin Gordon out there. And it sounds like Gus Edwards might be pretty hurt. So
he
Melvin
got
Gordon,
injured?
yeah, concussion. So
Yeah, he broke our parlay, actually. We had a 4-leg parlay, 3 legs hit. We just needed a Gus Edwards touchdown.
You're down bad on betting today.
yeah, no, yeah, it's been a pretty bad day for Ivy in terms of gambling, but that's okay. Yeah, no, I think the injuries on the Ravens definitely set them back a little bit, and they really need a downfield presence, like someone that can just spread the ball out and make the defense panic a little bit. 'Cause it seemed like the Colts were right, like except for the first drive of the game, it seemed like the Colts were on top of it the entire game.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but they missed Odell out there.
They really did.
They needed a playmaker on the outside.
Even if he's not the guy that's getting all the targets, he's taking attention away. And really our only target in the pass game was Zay Flowers. I don't think we involved Mark Andrews nearly enough. Maybe he's still recovering from injury, but I mean, just the pass game did not look as impressive as it did last week against the Bengals. And I'm not second-guessing Todd Monken and his new offense. I think it's still better for Lamar as a player and a better system.
And it takes time.
Like I said, it takes time, bro.
I mean, it looked really good last week, but it was definitely a step back this week.
It was also a very like sloppy, wet game. Yeah. You know, you can't really base your entire team on how they handle days like this because down the road these games won't really matter as much. But
I agree.
So long term, you guys worried about Baltimore?
No.
Colts defense is legit. Like I believe in the Colts defense. They're crazy.
That's kind of interesting.
How about the Colts after 3 weeks? Sole possession of first place in the AFC South.
Yeah.
So
who's saying they can't push for the playoffs with how the Jags have looked?
Who's saying?
And with Richardson back, I mean, Minshew wasn't great, but he didn't make any mistakes. But Richardson brings obviously a different element, and with that defense, I think you definitely can't count him out of the playoffs.
Who's to say? We got Jonathan Taylor coming back in a couple weeks. So
Yep.
as a Colts fan, like I said, couldn't be happier with the start to the season.
Yeah. I have one final question. Are you guys worried about Lamar Jackson's fumbling problem? Like
It is
as much as I am. Like,
season.
yeah, he can't hold it on. Like he cannot hold on to the ball. He's recovered most of the fumbles, but he's
Are they more like in the pocket behind the line of scrimmage, or are they more in front of the line of scrimmage? Like
The one today was in the pocket. He was dropped back, and he did a little pump fake going forward. And as he brought the ball back down, it kind of hit the shoulder of the Colts pass rusher, came out, and the Colts fell on it.
Pump fake was
That's
bringing it
kinda-
down, and
that's kind of weird. That's
Yeah.
unlike Lamar.
Very much unlike Lamar.
He's secure in the run game. Like when he runs the ball, he really doesn't like when he's purely running.
yeah.
When he's escaping in the pocket, sometimes he can be vulnerable too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely more concerned about his fumbles than his picks because he really doesn't throw many picks. But,
And he looked great, you know, apart from the fumble today. I mean, he had over 100 yards on the ground, didn't have any terrible throws. I mean, he got his guys going. He found Zay Flowers 8 times. And, Mark Andrews, like you said, should have been more involved in the passing game. But,
4 targets
you know,
is absurd.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah.
I was impressed by Lamar today.
Like,
I think Isaiah Likely also needs to be a part of the offense more.
really?
I think Isaiah Likely is really fast for a tight end. I don't think he can block at all.
No, he can't.
But no, like tight end that's been drafted in the last 3 years can block
so
whatsoever. So.
What was Odell out with?
Ankle. Sprained ankle. I think it's just like
Y'all just get
3 to 4
injured
weeks.
like nobody's
all the time.
business.
This week
bro.
we lost Gus Edwards. I don't know how serious that is. Owe went out, or not Owe, but Jabo went out early in the game. We lost Geno Stone. Thankfully, he came back. But it's just, I don't know what it is about the Ravens. It seems like every single season, and I know every team says this about their team every season, but the injuries are just brutal.
Every year, the Ravens seem to catch the injury bug.
Yeah, you guys in the Niners are like the most cursed with injuries that I can think of.
Moving on to other games that went down in Week 3. Let's talk about those Miami Dolphins. They just put 70 points on the Denver Broncos, on the new-look Sean Payton Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing.
And the Dolphins came damn close to breaking the NFL points record. What is your take on what just happened?
Like there's like a dispute on the internet. It's like because Mike McDaniel, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
He had an opportunity to kick a field goal to get the record, but he kneeled it.
Sportsmanship, yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
As if 70, putting up 70 points is good.
That's when he cut it off.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they were unstoppable. Every time I stepped outside and looked at the Jumbotron and they were showing highlights from other games, it was, A-Chain touchdown. Tyreek Hill touchdown.
Dude, they didn't
Raheem
even
Mostert
have
touchdown.
Mostert had
even
4
have
touchdowns.
Did they score 10 touchdowns on 10 drives? Or 11 with the kneel downs.
I think they had a punt return touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that was the one.
So Tua had
I could be
4
wrong.
passing touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mostert had 4 touchdowns as well. But one of those was from Tua, so that comes out to... That's 7 right there.
Oh, no, the Broncos were the one with the
Broncos
kickoff
had-
return touchdown.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it was a day. It was a day.
They
Yeah.
are scary. The Dolphins are scary.
Yeah.
I like the call to not kick the field goal and take the points record. Because
I
to
don't.
me,
I don't.
that
I
shows...
don't. Kick the goddamn field goal.
Listen.
Break the.
No.
You already embarrassed them enough.
Listen, I'm not even talking
the
about
field goal.
sportsmanship. I'm talking about this team's long-term aspirations. All right? This team is 3-0. When was the last time the Dolphins were 3-0? I can't even tell
Bro,
you.
they-
They haven't been 2-0 for 15 years, all right? These
All right,
guys are
you're-
making history for themselves already.
Okay, you can make more. You can
They
be-
had the chance to
You
break
can
the
really-
points record in NFL history, and they said, no, we're going to protect our guys. We're going to protect our lead. We have bigger fish to fry. We're not all about the points record. We're all about winning games. We're all about Super Bowl contention. I think that was a great call by the Miami Dolphins.
I don't know, dude.
Can I give a hot take? I think the person that was most happy with how today went down was Sean Payton.
What?
You got to explain yourself on this one.
I think Sean Payton I think he's really excited because, I mean,
Ooh.
like, you look at the roster, like, those are not Sean Payton's guys.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Like, when Sean Payton got to New Orleans, he traded for Drew Brees. He made a lot of trades to get some guys on the roster. And he, like,
GM.
rebuilt the team from, like, the ground up. And, like, they won a Super Bowl and they made, 3 other NFC championships, something like that. I don't think Sean Payton likes Russell Wilson
That's a good
whatsoever. And I don't really think, like, a lot of players he likes, like, on the Broncos roster. And I think he wants to start fresh. He didn't have a first-round draft pick this year, so he couldn't have gotten anyone he really wanted. But I think Sean Payton is looking at this, and this is, like, a
Caleb?
really big opportunity to turn
Do
it
they
around.
have their pick next year?
I think so. Yeah, I think
That's a
so.
good question because they gave up a
I
lot
think
of
they
picks to
might
get
have given up
Russell Wilson, didn't they?
Yeah.
Although it might have just been the last 2 years. But I mean,
Wow, it just
I like
it just
that.
came on the TV, but things are really bad when you see Robbie Anderson scoring over Pat Surtain. Like that's
yeah. Chosen Anderson.
yeah, sorry.
I think it's
Robbie
Chosen.
Chosen, sorry,
Oh,
to
it's
be
Robbie.
politically
It's Rob-
accurate.
It's
yeah.
Robbie Chosen. Shout out Robbie Chosen here on the podcast. Didn't think that we'd be saying his name, but
What's our
here we
QB's
are.
name?
Oh, it's Tyson Bagent.
He's on timing with that.
It's Tyson Bagent.
You guys got to get in contact with him.
Yeah,
I wanna-
after today, Tyson Bagent, his time is coming.
Dude, it's coming. I like that explanation, though.
yeah,
It's a hot take, but the explanation was perfect.
yeah. No, Sean Payton is the most similar to Bill Belichick as I could think of. And if you put Bill Belichick on the Broncos, what is he gonna do? He's gonna tear that roster down and gonna find players that actually want to play football, and or at least he thinks so, and build it from the ground.
I'd like to push
I think
back on that.
Sean Payton's gonna do the same.
That Broncos roster is ready to compete. I mean, you look at those guys out there, and they are better than their record. You have stars on that roster who are ready to go. You have
Like who?
Pat Surtain.
Yes.
You have
Ish.
Jerry Judy.
no,
You have Russell Wilson, who's been
No.
playing his ass off this year.
Before.
He's been incredible. He's been incredible this year. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. This is not Russell Wilson of
How did
2022.
Russell Wilson do today?
Didn't throw any picks.
Didn't do well.
Got his receivers going.
Didn't do well last week.
This is not a bad team.
Because he got a 60-yard Hail Mary.
This is not a bad
And he
team.
let the Commanders come back.
Yeah.
This is not a bad roster. Sean Payton should not be
Bro,
going
when you
0-3
say-
with these guys.
When you say let the Commanders come back, like he plays defense.
Well, I don't know. You have to extend the league or extend the lead. Excuse me, or do something to keep your team up.
Yeah.
And he had to rely, like you said, on a Hail Mary to keep him in the game, and they were up like
Oh my
21 to
God,
nothing at
dude, I
halftime.
keep
See that.
like it doesn't even matter who the Dolphins played. Like they put up 70.
the Dolphins
They
are
are very
legit,
good.
man. The Dolphins are legit out here.
I think we talk a lot about Tua and Tyreek and Waddle, but they have the best running game right now in football too. Like that's really good.
They're running
Like,
with
that's insane.
31-year-old Raheem Mostert
Yeah.
and Devon Chain, and nobody can stop him.
Yeah.
Devon Chain ran for 203 rushing yards today. I mean,
He's
come on.
cold.
They were
He's
literally
cold.
trying to run down the clock in the second half, but
Yeah.
Chain and Mostert just kept
you a
getting
pass.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Russell Wilson, 306 passing yards. Just compare the numbers from this year to last year, and he's been better. It's definitely not his fault that the Broncos are 0-3, and it's not Sean Payton's fault either. But this roster is not some pushover team. I'd say in terms of roster build, they're top 20, probably top half in the league.
I disagree.
0-3.
I think
is
we
a
can name
very disappointing start.
I
for
think
the
we
Denver
can name
Broncos.
16 better rosters than the Broncos. They have no real linebackers. They have Pat Surtain and like a 32-year-old Justin Simmons.
Simmons is like 26. Simmons is in the prime.
I feel like he's older. I could be wrong.
No,
but
he's young.
Yeah, I
don't know.
can definitely name 16 teams with a better roster.
Yeah,
than the
I
Broncos.
think.
And I don't want to do it. Right
We're
now.
not going to do it.
I mean, you never know. I think the Broncos could come back from this and sneak their way into wild card contention, but I don't know. It's bad, and I think not saying Sean Payton is thrilled about this, but I think in the long run, Sean Payton's going to like where this goes because I think this is going to do something for his team, and I think the sooner they move on from Russ Wilson, the better. I think it's even just not even the performance of Russ Wilson, but you hear what other people say about him, like in interviews and stuff. Like so many of his former teammates have come out and said like how much he sucked as a teammate when he was thought to be like the best teammate ever in Seattle for so long. So I don't know. I feel like Russ Wilson might be on his way out, or at least on a different team next year.
No doubt it was a tough day for the Broncos and a tough start to the season, 0-3. Speaking of winless teams, I have a question for you guys. Of the winless teams in the NFL right now after week 3, which team is under the most pressure at this moment? I mean, we're talking about the Vikings, who went 0-3 today to the Chargers. The Bears went 0-3 to the Chiefs. The Broncos are now 0-3. A couple other teams as well. I mean, who is under the most pressure to start getting in that win column?
I think it's the Bengals.
Oh, come on, bro.
Dude,
You're so...
okay. Pressure? There's no pressure on the rest of these teams aside from the Vikings. And what kind of pressure they have to make the playoffs? Bengals are pressured to be Super Bowl contenders, as they have been the last 2 seasons. They're under pressure.
Bro,
They haven't lost week 3 yet like these other teams, but if they lose to the Rams, that's not a
When
good
they play Monday
loss.
night?
Yeah, they play Monday night against the Rams. If they lose to the Rams, that's not good. They're
I
0-2
agree.
in the-
Is
they're
Joe Burrow
0-2 in
playing?
the division.
Isn't he injured?
He's
Still
playing.
questionable, but it looks like he's going to play.
He's playing.
He's been practicing
What?
all week.
They only have one quarterback on the roster right now. It's Joe Burrow.
I think they should sit him, to be honest.
Let him get a little hot.
I mean, it seems like they think that he's right. Like, he's good to go.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked good to go the last couple of weeks, especially towards the end of week 2.
But Bengals, come on, man. When you have a fucking young quarterback like Justin Fields and your entire fucking building is running around you.
and you're getting robbed. You're getting robbed in the middle of the night. Yeah.
You're not going to say the Chicago Bears? Like, they are a dumpster fire and a half.
Yeah, the Bears
but
are a mess.
Does being a dumpster fire and being a mess mean you're under pressure?
Because
I think everybody now
Do you-
kind of knows Justin Fields is not the future.
Okay, but you got to think of what everybody's expectations were preseason. They thought they could compete for this division.
Hang
bro.
on.
This division was wide open.
I want to just go back for a second.
Who in our predictions had the Bears?
Nobody had them in the playoffs. I want to go back for a second. Dermot, you just said
Somebody
something that
had
I think
them.
is very interesting.
I swear to God.
You said that at this point, no one really thinks that Justin Fields is the future. A week ago, I brought up the question of whether Justin Fields should be benched at some point this season.
Tyson
All right.
Badgett, put him in.
Is it time for Tyson Badgett to come in? I mean, I'm serious, though. I'm serious.
Michael had him.
It's
Michael
been
had the
3
Bears.
weeks.
Michael had the Bears.
No, they're not going to bench Fields, but I think they're going to let this season play out and then just.
And you had the Vikings, and they're 0-3.
They'll be fine.
I think I agree with the Bears take. Not because like they need to compete. It's just things are so bad there that I think one win would do milestones for the team that this week they have a defensive coordinator whose house was raided by the FBI. They have a quarterback that called out the coach and walked back on it. They had the DJ Moore hot mic where he complained about not being used.
Bad.
That might have been worse than the Justin Fields one.
Definitely.
Matt Eberflus, the defensive-minded coach, has the worst defense in the NFL. And then they got robbed in the middle of the night of $100,000 worth of lawnmowers and field equipment.
I heard about that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, things are so bad there that they need just a rough. They need a 10-7 win. That's all. Like, they need that more than any other team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you're right. It's not the fact that they've been losing. It's not the fact that they're 0-3. It's the way that they have been losing. They had this big opportunity at home in week 1 to get one over the Packers, their division rivals. Couldn't get it done. Week 2, playing away to the Buccaneers, who everyone thought was, going to suck. They lost by multiple scores. Mm-hmm. And then today, they just got absolutely demolished by Kansas City. Like, they've shown no fight. They've shown no ability to stay with even the mediocre teams in the NFL. It's a problem. It's a problem. It'd be one thing if they were, keeping themselves in games, but it's like as soon as they go down by a score, the heads drop, the faith is out the window, and it's over. They give up on themselves.
You're not wrong.
There is not a team in the NFL in a worse situation, and there is not a quarterback in the NFL with more pressure on his shoulders than Justin Fields.
If they finish this season with the number 1 overall pick, I think it's well within reason they should cut loose every asset they've tried to get over the last 5 years. Like Cole Kmet, the guy they paid all that tight end money for, is like the third tight end on the roster. He's awful. Their offensive line is like middle of the pack in terms of paid, and they're terrible.
Just drafted the dude.
But the problem is they got that Darnell Taylor, I think that's his name.
Mooney.
Or no, the tackle.
Yeah, the left tackle.
Oh.
They got him in the draft.
They got him over
Jalen
Carter. They got him over Jalen Carter.
Oh, he's trash.
Yeah, he's not good. They got that Velus Jones Jr., who's not even good. Chase Claypool. They essentially traded a first round pick for him, and he's horrible.
Yeah.
And I would sell Justin Fields at the end of the season. Like, seriously, I would sell him for a third round pick somewhere.
Dude,
and maybe they could turn him around.
You're coming out firing, dude. Russell Wilson gone.
Yeah.
Fields gone.
So if the Bears have the number 1 pick, do they stay and pick Caleb, or do they draft out?
They have to pick Caleb Williams.
Dude,
they have to. They can't trade back anymore.
The QB class is very deep this year.
I don't care what team you are. If you have the number 1 pick this year, you're taking Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
If your team was bad enough to get the number 1 pick, it's time for a change of QB.
Hallelujah.
Also, they traded back this year and look at where things are. So, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So just to revisit a question from episode 1, if you could have Justin Fields or Anthony Richardson to run your team right now, to be your franchise QB, who are we saying?
Still Anthony Richardson.
Yep. I said Richardson, right?
Yeah, I think we all said Richardson.
Dermot says Richardson. Grant says Richardson. Ivy, what are we saying?
Definitely Richardson.
AR5 all around the room. I agree.
I don't know. Yeah. Did I say Richardson?
Yeah, I think we all agreed that Richardson is...
Dude, I feel so bad because I was a Justin Fields fan.
I love him. I love Justin Fields. At Ohio State, he was so likable.
He kind of dotted defenses up at State.
He ended Trevor Lawrence's college career with a broken rib. And I'm really rooting for Justin Fields. I really want him to do well, but I don't.
Yeah,
things look so bad.
To be somewhere else, right?
Things just look so bad. The Bears are just such a horrendously run franchise that they have already failed Justin Fields.
But I said
if there was any hope.
I said this on the last podcast. The film that I watch, he just does not pull the trigger. He doesn't want to throw the ball. It's weird.
In Fields' defense, it seems like they're not using him correctly at all. Coming into week 3, they only had run 4 designed quarterback runs the entire season, which is very low compared to other teams. and they have maybe the most explosive quarterback rushing wise in the NFL. So that just seems like a blatant bad play call. But yeah, there's no doubt he needs to make some better decisions, make some better throws, and that team needs to start winning some games.
Yeah.
How about those Vikings? Dropping to 0-3 today at home to the Chargers.
Yeah, the Vikings are under a lot of pressure.
Can you pull up their schedule?
The Vikings.
I need to. I heard something the other day that there's a realistic possibility that they could go 0-6 to start the season. Because their schedule is they went from
They should beat the Panthers.
Panthers,
Okay.
Chiefs, Bears.
And Bears. Too,
and then
but-
Niners, Packers, Falcons.
Yeah, I mean,
That's rough.
This is a rough schedule.
I think we all saw to
Oh
an
my
extent
God.
that they weren't going to be as good as last season with how many one possession games that they just eked out. But this bad, I don't think any of us expected.
My
Although,
God, that's a tough schedule.
losing to the Buccaneers opening week was just a very bad loss for them with how tough their schedule is. Starting
Yeah.
0-3 is just terrible.
To be fair, they've lost all 3 games by 1 score. So it's been the opposite of last year, where they won all their 1-score games.
Yep.
Now they're losing them.
Preach, Ned.
That'd be crazy if they literally like lost every close game this year
Yeah.
and won all of them last year.
Yeah. So we hitting the panic button on Minnesota yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but yeah.
I give them 1 more week. They're playing in Carolina against the Panthers next week.
True.
They gotta fix
Must
that
win
defense.
game.
Their
If
offense
they
is
win
not-
that, get back on track, I don't think their season's over.
They can't score in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the fumble issues have just been bad.
Yeah. Their O-line is depleted.
They're missing Dalvin Cook.
They're putting up points, but I mean, Kirk hasn't been terrible really, except for maybe today. But
Shout out Matson.
And that defense has to get
He's
some
doing
stuff.
okay.
Keenan Allen should not be going off for 215 yards and a fucking passing touchdown. I'm sorry, that should not be happening.
Who are the cornerbacks for the Vikings? Because I know both of the starters went to the Steelers last year.
Byron Murphy.
Yikes.
He's not bad. He's not
he's
bad.
not bad, but he's not who you want as your number one guy.
Harrison Smith
Who
is
else
still
is
there in the
there?
secondary. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I guess he is number 1.
Yeah, they got Hicks, linebacker. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good. It's not a good start to the season by any means for Minnesota, and they're in a tough
Minnesota.
division. It's going to be tough to figure it out.
I hope they pull it together. Like, they're a likable team. But, gosh, Marcus Davenport is what a horrible
What a
free agent acquisition.
what a terrible.
Remember when the Saints traded like
Trade
2
up.
first-round picks to
Yeah.
get him? What a terrible, horrible trade.
I don't remember who those first picks became, but I do remember that they were very good players
Yeah.
for Marcus Davenport.
Harrison Smith is washed now, too.
You think so?
Yeah, he's done.
He's like 33.
He used to be
done.
so nice, man. He used to carry that
He
defense.
needs to
Yeah.
retire.
Him and Lance Kendricks. They had an Anthony Barr,
Yeah. I think if the Vikings
Daniil Hunter.
lose under 7 games and it's a contract year for Kirk, I think
Yeah.
going along with the theme of moving on from quarterbacks, I think Kirk Cousins is going to start for like,
I think that's your most realistic one.
yeah, he's going to start for that one. I don't know. I think Russell Wilson could be done, and
You like that one?
Justin
huh?
Fields looks really, really bad.
Maybe
He
we'll
could turn
see.
it around, but-
Maybe we'll see the Vikings move on from Kirk and go for Justin Fields in the offseason. Who knows?
That would be interesting.
So we've talked about some very depressing, winless teams so far this season. I want to talk about some teams who have had great starts to the year, who we don't believe in. Which undefeated team to you guys is the most fraudulent, the least likely to actually do something come playoff time? I mean, we got the Falcons, who are still 2-0.
Oh, they lost
Oh, they
today.
lost.
The Falcons lost today.
They got
So
We got the
whopped.
Bucks.
They got
they're
whopped
confirmed
today.
We got
fraudulent.
the Eagles. We got the Dolphins
Niners.
and the Niners.
Okay.
say that one more time.
The Niners, the Buccaneers, the Eagles, and the Dolphins.
Those are the only undefeated teams
Saints.
Yeah,
after
The Saints
3
lose
weeks.
they
Saints
lost.
lost.
Yeah, they lost to the Packers. They were
Yeah,
up
they
17
came back.
nothing going into the fourth, and they blew
Derek
it.
Carr
man.
got in.
They were up 3 scores.
I really thought Jameis Winston would win them that game too.
Yeah, Ivy's a big Jameis Winston
I'm a
guy.
huge Jameis Winston guy.
crab legs.
Oh yeah, man.
So are we buying into the Dolphins at 3-0? Are we sold on them as Super Bowl
Yeah,
contenders?
We've all
Yeah.
established that. Yeah.
We knew that before the season.
You knew that before the season.
No, everybody did.
I wasn't on board with it.
Everybody had them in the playoffs, though.
They're better than I thought.
I had them as the 7 seed maybe, but they are insane.
So of these undefeated teams, the Buccaneers seem to be the odd one out. Like the least likely to like actually hold on to being, top of their division.
Yeah.
That would be my pick. Yeah.
Agreed.
I really like Baker. I love Baker Mayfield.
Really,
so
dude?
much. Just like I mean, I love Jameis Winston type of love for Baker Mayfield. Like I don't really believe in him. And that's why I really want it. Like I'm always rooting for Baker Mayfield, but I don't think.
You have very interesting takes.
Yeah, I like the bad quarterbacks.
Wow.
I mean, I think Baker's gonna fall off this
What's
year,
your
but
opinion
I'm rooting
on,
for him. I'm rooting for him.
Just quick question. Give me a quick 1-2 sentence. Kyler Murray.
Oof.
Damn, I made him think.
I know how I feel.
I'm out on Kyler Murray.
Michael's gonna be
And on Josh Dobbs.
And yeah, Josh Dobbs is in. Kyler Murray is out. Yeah. I mean, I have a Kyler Murray jersey. Like, I love Kyler Murray, but I don't think he's.
Really?
I just haven't seen him be a stud. Like, he's not like.
You don't
the
think
guy.
He's been a
surrounding
stud.
cast
He's been a
little-
stud.
I mean, he had Marquise Brown and DeAndre Hopkins last year. Like, that's a pretty good support.
He got hurt last year.
Yeah, but was it a
He
good
got hurt,
O-line?
and DeAndre Hopkins was suspended for the first half of the season. The year before that, he was great. First 8 weeks of the season, he was the leading MVP candidate in the league. All right.
But then they went.
Yeah, the team
lost
fell
like
off.
8 straight games.
Sure, okay, sure. The team
played
fell
terrible in
off.
the
The team
playoffs.
fell off. But listen, at that point in his career, Kyler Murray was at the same point that Justin Fields is right now. Right now, we look at Justin Fields as this project, up-and-coming quarterback that just needs the right help around him. So why are we judging Kyler Murray from back then like he's some established, refined player that is winning at all costs, or else he's a bust? Doesn't make sense.
He's done more than Justin Fields did.
Yeah.
He has been.
100%.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, I missed
think
it. Did
he
he
will-
compare him to Justin Fields?
He did.
No fucking
No,
way.
I'm not comparing him to Justin Fields at all. I'm comparing the way that we evaluate him
God
to Justin
knew,
Fields.
God knew, like, just made it happen somehow that I didn't hear that. How are you comparing Kyler Murray to...
You're not listening
You
to
didn't
me.
hear what he said.
Kyler Murray was an MVP candidate halfway through his third season in the league. All right? At that point, he was at the same point in his career as Justin Fields is right now. All right? And right now, we're not judging Justin Fields the same way that we judged Kyler Murray back then. All right? Murray's been hurt. He's been suspended. He's had problems the last couple of years, and the team has sucked. All right? Let's not give up hope on this guy. All right? This guy was an MVP candidate last time he was fully healthy and had a good team around him. All right? He's one of the most dynamic and explosive players in the league. Why are we giving up on the guy?
I think they're going to give up on him because it's a different general manager now and a different coach.
They have no ties.
And this is what happens when new management comes to town. They want to start fresh, and I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be the guy that they want to hold on to.
So let me clarify. You're in or out on Kyler?
I'm still in.
Okay. I thought...
I think Kyler Murray is still a starting
Me
quarterback
too.
in the NFL.
I think he's
Hey,
still
I'm
a
with you,
starter.
Michael.
I think he's still a starter, but I don't think the Cardinals are going to keep him.
I like him unless the Cardinals have a top 3 pick.
And then they go with Caleb.
And then they might go with
Or-
if they really love someone.
Or Drake May.
Yeah.
Or it seems
I'd
like that
trade it.
Washington
I'd
dude
trade
is
it.
crazy
Yeah,
too.
Phoenix.
They might have
Trade it.
2 top 3 picks. They
Trade
have the
it.
Texans pick too.
They probably will.
Trade
Although
it
the Texans
and get his son.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Now the Colts are getting Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to make the playoffs this year and then trade up to get the second overall pick and get Marvin Harrison Jr.
That would be crazy.
Get him to play for his Pops team.
That'd be amazing.
Anthony Richardson and... Oh my god.
I'm going to say something crazy
I
about
might cream my pants.
the
if that
AFC
happens.
South.
What you got?
I think the Texans could win the division. Like,
I don't think
CJ Stroud looks really good.
I think
for
that's
3
a horrible
games.
take.
No offensive line.
That's a horrible
he's
take.
looked good every game.
That would be so
No.
fun.
He has
Yeah.
no
No,
wide
that would be
receivers.
so
He's
fun.
throwing to Tank Dell. Like,
Nico Collins.
yeah,
Nico Collins is a good player.
okay.
Nico
What
Collins
is-
is a good
what is
player.
he?
Yeah, I guess, but he's not a receiver
not.
He's,
one.
he's in his 3rd year in the
He's a
league.
role
What do you want
player,
him to do?
bro.
Put up
He's a
Calvin
role player.
Johnson numbers in his rookie year? No way.
Yes, he's a good receiver, but I mean, look who he's throwing to and the yards he's putting up. Like
Will Anderson Jr.
All
is
right,
also
so
the real
let me
deal.
ask this because
He's
I
the
think
real
this is
deal.
I think this is an important question.
He's going quiet
after
into
week
that
3.
defensive rookie of the year.
This is an important question. It's after week 3. We've seen a decent amount of these rookie QBs. Out of Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson, who has been the most impressive so far?
You just want us to say Richardson.
I think
bro.
Stroud has looked the most polished.
I think Richardson.
Okay.
Yep.
I have the third answer, Bryce Young.
You think Young's been better than the other two?
I've watched film on Young. The way he reads defenses and actually is decisive with his throws, he has cojones. Like that dude has some balls.
What does it say that the Panthers just had their best offensive game of the season with Andy Dalton starting?
But Andy Dalton's a vet, and he like almost took the Saints to the
it's-
playoffs last year.
It's
so.
his rookie year. Like I'm not
Yeah.
like I see the most potential through those 2 games from Bryce Young.
I think
Interesting.
Stroud.
I think they all could be like really good.
Me too.
But what I'm worried about, and this is so like biased. So the thing I'm worried about Bryce Young is like I truly don't believe a quarterback that small can succeed in the NFL. Like he's
Really? Come on, you're on that narrative.
Yeah.
He is very small.
Y'all
Like
y'all
look who the best quarterbacks in the NFL have been over the last 10 years. Like he's not like a quarterback that small has not been.
Drew
I
Brees
don't
is the
know.
closest thing, and he's
He's still over
tall.
6 feet. Yeah.
still 6 foot.
I mean, Russell Wilson did pretty well.
He's 6'1".
He's like 5'11".
5'11" at most. Or
That's
at
a
least.
good argument.
most.
That's a good
At
argument.
least. 5'11" at
He's
least.
probably 5'11.
That's a good argument. I like the Russell
He's
Wilson
6'1"
argument.
in shoes.
I like the Russell Wilson argument. I'm willing to walk back this one, but
If Russell Wilson's under 6
I
feet,
think
I'll be
that's
surprised.
I think that's a lackadaisical.
5'11". Russell Wilson's 5'11". Okay. Fair enough. So Russell Wilson has proven that you can be under 6 feet as a quarterback and put up, Super Bowl winning seasons.
I mean, we're not going to deny Russell Wilson's past. Like,
He's a beast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still believe in Russell Wilson's present,
But from what I've seen from Bryce Young, his team scored. I mean, he's on a bad team, but he scored 1 touchdown through 2 weeks. He can't convert in the red zone. I think Stroud, the reads he's making, the downfield throws he's made, I think he has showed a lot of potential on probably the worst roster of those 3 teams.
yeah. Yeah.
What were you saying?
Stroud has looked the best on the worst roster of those 3 teams.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's been okay. I mean, he played well against the Colts in week 2 in garbage time and played well today. I mean, 119 quarterback rating, threw for a couple touchdowns, no interceptions, and, his team put up 37 on the Jags.
Anthony Richardson, rank the rookie, those 3 QBs in the most amount of weapons they have. I'd go AR.
Yeah.
I'd go Stroud, and then I'd go.
God, none of them have great
Right.
weapons
Bryce Young
right now.
has terrible weapons.
I mean, who does AR have?
Michael Pittman,
Pittman is-
Alec Pierce.
Michael Pittman is
And
far
and
above
soon to be
Nico
Jonathan
Collins
Taylor. And soon to be
Adam
Jonathan
Thielen.
Taylor.
Y'all have some nice young tight ends. Jelani Woods.
Jelani
Well,
Woods hasn't done shit this year. Kylan Granson's been good this year in year
He's
2.
not bad. I've heard him a lot.
Josh Downs has been solid this year. We talked about him in
I like
episode
him.
2.
He looks really good today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice
I would
little
say in
safety
terms of
blanket.
weapons, AR probably is the best
Yeah.
ones, followed by
Stroud.
the Texans. The Texans.
I really think Stroud and Richardson are going to succeed long term. Young is the one I'm really nervous
Yeah, I haven't
about.
seen enough from Young. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not doubting him.
Really?
but I'm not ready to hype him up.
Yeah, I think he has pretty horrendous weapons, but yeah, I don't know. Even Young lining up behind the wrong O lineman the other game.
He
And
was
then,
locked
like-
in. He was locked
Yeah,
in.
that's
Reading
okay.
the defense,
Okay.
bro. Like
Yeah,
I said,
all right,
bro.
all right.
He was ready to dot him the fuck up.
Yeah, just sit behind the wrong dude. That's fair.
Behind the goal.
I like that
I'll give
argument.
you
I like
that.
that
I'll give you
argument.
that. But he was locked in. No.
Yeah,
He
there
was not
also-
locked in. He was mind was not in the
He
right
was
place.
reading
Yeah.
the defense, making sure everybody was
Yeah.
lined up.
There was also
He was reading the
um,
defense, but the book was upside down.
There was
It's fine, it's fine.
one play I saw from the game where It was such a boring game, so I turned it right after this. But Bryce Young couldn't hear the play call in his helmet and just immediately called a timeout. Like I don't think he's confident enough to
Okay, that's a little
make the play on his own and kind of improvise.
He's a rookie.
I feel like Bryce Young is playing like extremely loose. Like he is so carefree about this season.
Oh, I would say
I
the
bet
opposite.
the coaches said, "Dude, it doesn't matter what the fuck the team does this season as long as you stay healthy and maintain some knowledge or gain some knowledge throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like have Andy Dalton help you out. Like they don't give a fuck what they do. They weren't competing.
I don't think he has a good coach either. I don't like Frank Reich. I really don't.
I believe in Frank Reich.
His play calling has not been good. That's
Yeah.
Interesting.
I believe in Frank Reich.
I
I think the undefeated team that is the most fraudulent, besides the Buccaneers, is the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think they win the division.
No.
And I don't want to get into a whole Cowboys spiel right now because we'll get into them later. But I don't think the Eagles have it in them to win the division in back-to-back years. No NFC East team has repeated as champions for the last decade and a half, which is a crazy stat. And I think it continues. They've looked good, not great, in their first couple of games. And they have a big game tomorrow night against the Buccaneers on ABC. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so
but
what happens if they beat...
For right now, I'm not bought in.
So what happens if the Bucks beat the Eagles? Would you be bought in?
And play well.
Bought into the Bucks?
Yeah.
If the Bucks go
No, the Bucks.
If the Bucks go off against Philly on national TV during prime time, I might consider buying in. But no matter what happens, I'm not bought in on the Eagles.
You would buy all the stock now?
If the Bucks beat the Eagles in primetime, I would be like, yeah, the Bucks are a playoff team for sure.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I mean,
No.
we're still like super early in the season, so like a million things could happen. Like they could fall off.
It is a weak division though.
Yeah. I think the Bucks are like a really sneaky wild card team. Like they have looked really good.
They do have a good roster.
But
they do have a good roster.
What holds me back, other than like Baker, is Todd Bowles. Like I truly believe Todd Bowles might be the worst coach in the NFL.
That's interesting.
Because he was so bad with the Jets. He was so bad last year. Like something's got to give. You know, he's not the guy you want.
I think Brandon Staley would like a word with you about that worst coach in the NFL title. But
yeah,
I think
it's a close battle. Yeah.
The thing with the Buccaneers that people like to forget is the fact that this team made the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and it is largely the same roster. That was a young defense that made the Super Bowl with players like White and that offensive line and those wide receivers with Godwin and Mike Evans and me and Ivey's guy, Scotty Miller, who unfortunately isn't on the team anymore, but maybe that's their problem.
Yeah.
That team was a Super Bowl champion, and they made the playoffs last year by winning their division. All that has changed, really, with that roster is the quarterback. They went from a 45-year-old Tom Brady to a, in his prime Baker Mayfield. Is that really as big of a drop-off as we've been thinking?
Yeah, I do, because Devin White's fifth-year option was not picked up. Like I think his production has like fallen off substantially, and that offensive line was like the backbone of that Super Bowl. But Ryan Jensen's career like could be over. Like I think he like fractured his neck or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So he's gone. I think Tristan Wirfs is like one of the best players like in the NFL. Period. Yeah. But
yeah, he's good as fuck.
Their center's gone, who was like the leader of that team. I think the secondary of the Bucks is still super, super good. And Levante David is really old. Like, I don't know how old he is, but he's like getting old.
He's probably 35 now.
Yeah, he's getting old. Like Godwin and Mike Evans are like older, but like a little banged up. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Bucks, there's such a, I don't know, anything could really happen with them.
Yeah, they're a weird team.
Next topic of conversation, next debate to be had here on the Fourth Quarter Podcast. Let's talk some Dallas Cowboys, baby. The Dallas Cowboys have had an incredibly just wild roller coaster start to the season. They were 2-0. They had been dominant. They had outscored their opponents 70-10 in the first two games, including a 40-0 rout of the Giants on Sunday Night Football. All of a sudden, they're top of the world. Trevon Diggs goes down with an ACL injury in practice. He's out for the year. Nobody really seemed to know what to make of the Cowboys, but everybody did agree that the Cowboys would go into Arizona and get a W today. They lost by 2 scores. What went down today, Grant? What do you think?
Me first?
Yes, I want to hear your opinion.
Well, I had 3 things on my mind. Red zone offense, our secondary without Trevon Diggs, and freaking penalties. So those 3 things combined, just a bad storm. I mean, I texted my dad, like, when we were down, like, I don't even know what it was, but we were down, like, two possessions, and I was like, this is a trap game. Like, we're kind of fucked here. And he was like, he had hope, and by the end of the game, he was texting me, fire Mike McCarthy, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not there yet, but some things need to be fixed, some things need to be worked on, some things need to be played out. I think going into the secondary without Trevon Diggs, I think that can be fixed with just reps and play. I don't think that was a player deficiency there. I think that was just the first game. Like, Bland being outside, Lewis playing in the slot. That was just their first game.
Yeah.
Like, that was just the bumps they were going to run into.
The players seemed a little bit out of it. They didn't have the same determination and grit that we saw in the first 2 games.
We didn't have good communication. There was a couple busted coverages.
Yeah, I mean, Micah Parsons in particular just didn't look like his head was in the game as much. He looked a little, like, crestfallen at times when he couldn't get to the quarterback and he wasn't rushing as hard.
He was playing a little hurt. To be honest, I think he was playing a little hurt. He did get a sack. He impacted as much as he could, but I think he was playing a little hurt, which is no excuse. But the penalties, man, oh my God. I think it was like 10 or 11 in the first half.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a record. That was a record for a Mike McCarthy team.
Dude, that's like back to the old days. Remember that Raiders game, Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. That shit pisses me off to this day.
That, I might rant, but that was the most Cowboys game.
Yep.
Like, I was not surprised at all. Yeah, if you are a Cowboys fan and you think we are going to get over the hump every year, you're delusional. Because the Cowboys, every year, since I think we've been alive, each season we lose games like that. This is a season. Yeah. This happens every season at some point. The Raiders game is a perfect example. Games we should win, but we cannot.
We blow up.
We see this in the playoffs. Like, I remember the first time we lost to the Niners, we committed like 15 offensive penalties.
And our defense wasn't on it.
Yep. Like that
second playoff game, Dak wasn't on it, threw 2 picks.
Yeah. It's just I'm so tired of this because we cannot change. We can't change. Like, Dak is so uncreative with the football. Like, I was telling Ned, this is how like Dak thinks when he's in the pocket. So on Madden, you see the guy highlighted in red. That's the guy who's intended to get the ball. But sometimes he's not open, so you have to like look around and throw it underneath. Dak will only throw it to the guy highlighted in red. Really? He's not creative. He will either throw a dump off to
I strongly disagree.
Tony Pollard. I think Dak Prescott's lack of creativity and lack of... You can watch him play. Wow. He doesn't look around. He looks straight ahead at the guy.
I strongly disagree.
I'm so tired of it, man. Like, we are poorly coached because we keep committing these terrible, costly penalties. We keep trying to be too creative on offense to the point where doesn't work.
Run the ball, bro. Run the ball.
God. And it's like, it's just on like third downs, we're throwing screens and like dump off passes. Like, it's like before today, it was like Kellen Moore not being there. I thought like Kellen Moore was the problem. Like, looking at the Chargers. But now it seems like all those problems are come back, and I don't know what to do. And like, our defense is fucked without Diggs. Like, Stephon Gilmore just turned 33. He cannot keep up with these fast ass cornerbacks. Like, he is not. We cannot compete with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. We have no one that can cover them. We have no one that can cover
Brandon
them.
Ayuk and Deebo
and
Samuel.
they will beat us. They will beat us because we have no one to cover them.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I want to focus on. Like, what is the actual impact of this Diggs injury? Clearly, the team was not mentally in the right state to, go after it today, and they lost to a terrible team. Sorry, Michael. But is this the kind of thing where they can't recover from?
Though. They're not the worst in the league.
No, they're not. I mean, they were competitive with the Commanders and the Giants. So, like, obviously they're not a terrible team. But it's a game that the Cowboys should have won. Most people had the Cowboys number one in their power rankings.
I agree.
Going into this season, or going into this game.
But you can't take it. You can't take teams for light.
So do the Cowboys need to replace Diggs, or can they get by without him? How do you figure this out?
I truly believe like getting Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, like those are all in moves. Like those are final puzzle piece moves, and we've gone all in. We have to go all in more because I think Jerry Jones is seeing that game and seeing what Stephon Gilmore cannot cover Marquise Brown. Like, he's too fast for him. And, like, say what you will about Diggs, whether he's overrated and whatnot, but, like, he forces turnovers. Like, whether he intercepts the ball, but, like, his presence on the field forces turnovers.
That is huge.
And, like, whether he's, like, I don't know. And we're using Brandon Cooks wrong. Like, that's my last point. It's like he's catching dump-off slants when he should be going straight down the field every single time. But
wow.
I personally disagree. I don't think it's like panic mode or anything for the Cowboys. I think we've seen this season good teams have bad results, and we know this. I mean, they've looked incredible so far, obviously against two not great teams, but we saw today the Ravens lose to a team that they're supposed to beat. The Ravens are still a good team. Chiefs lost to a team they should have beaten. The Lions, they're still a good team. Bills, same thing. So I don't think it's panic mode yet. But this is definitely concerning. Just as Grant touched on, the red zone offense was atrocious.
Oh, dude, it was shit.
Just atrocious.
It was shit.
They were getting to the red zone every possession.
But you know what the worst thing is it happened last week. So that's definitely coaching right there. You have a main problem in one game, and you don't fix it going into the next. I mean, come on, man.
Mike McCarthy is... I don't think he's the worst coach in the NFL. Like, he has surprised me.
What?
But, like, he is not the guy. Because, like, it is Super Bowl or bust with, like, our current roster. And if you think we can beat the Dolphins or the Niners or the Eagles with what we have right now, like, not a chance.
I love this. I love this change of narrative from a week ago.
You just blew up on yourself.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's like, just, I don't know, like, you watched, like, the red zone plays today, and they were literally running the ball on, like, 2nd and 10, like, in the red zone. Like, you have to advance the ball.
Well, that's because they pass on first down and they throw an incompletion, and then they have to run it on 2nd and long.
It's just
all fucked
What's
up.
wrong with the CeeDee Lamb fade to, like, the corner of the end zone? Like, why can't we
see
do
that? That I do agree
Why can't
with.
we do that play?
Like, if you have problems in the red zone, why aren't you looking for your number one receiver a little bit more often? Like, yeah. I was watching the whole second half of that game, and they were not working the ball to CeeDee nearly
he looked pissed
enough.
Too. He looked pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like there was a disconnect between Dak and his receivers and just between the team as a whole. It seemed like they just did not come in with the right mentality, and that comes down to coaching, but it's the kind of thing they figure out. Listen, The Cowboys are not as good as we thought they were after 2 weeks because nobody is as good as, being 70-10 after 2 weeks.
We were Super Bowl
that would be
contenders last
impossible.
week. We're Super Bowl contenders this week.
And they're not as bad
we're the
as we
same
saw
thing,
today.
Ned. We're the same thing.
They're not as good as they were in week 2, and they're not as bad as they were today. They're somewhere in the middle.
Huge loss. Half, if not all, of our O-line was out.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying that you guys are close to as bad as you were today. I'm just saying that this is a bit of a coming back to earth for the Cowboys.
Coming to Jesus moment.
We saw that there
yeah.
are flaws with this team, and honestly, in the long run, this could be a good thing. One thing that Ivey and I have always agreed on, since we've known each other, is that every great team needs a bad loss in the regular season to figure some things out, to figure out what our weaknesses are, and to kind of come together as a unit. So that's what McCarthy and the coaching staff, Dan Quinn, that's what they got to do. They got to find a way to figure out what went wrong, how to correct those problems, and then rally our guys together.
That's where I go wrong with you, because they had these problems last week. They should have been corrected by now. They should have been corrected. That we should have whooped the Cardinals. Our red zone offense should have been pounding with Pollard, fades to CD. Touchdown.
Guys in motion.
I mean, come on, dude.
And
don't act like we weren't expecting the secondary to take a hit.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that the secondary was going to take a hit.
You had to prepare.
We knew. Every time somebody got burnt, I was like, dude, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The first week with the new group, it is what it is.
Just kept happening.
But as a guy in that locker room,
these problems are not new. These problems
they're not. They're not, and they should have been addressed. You're right.
Expected.
You're absolutely right. This is stuff that has happened last week and honestly last season as well.
Yeah, this is a narrative.
But if I'm a guy in that locker room, and the coach is telling me this is what went wrong, this is what we have to pick up on, this is what we have to fix, that messaging is not going to hit me hard if I know that we're up 60 points on the season. After we lose by 12 on the road to the Cardinals, that messaging is going to hit a lot more.
That's fair.
That's actually going to have more of an impact on the way that they prepare and approach these games.
Shannon Sharp said it on First Take. The difference between Super Bowl winners and non-Super Bowl winners is scoring in the red zone.
Yeah. And this has been a problem since Mike McCarthy has been our coach. It has. And Ned, you say we have those big games do right the franchise in the wrong direction. I think the Chiefs last year, for example, lost to Jeff Saturday last year, and then they went on to win a Super Bowl.
Not Jeff Saturday. They did lose to the Colts in week 3. Though.
Okay, yeah. So stuff like that, but that for some reason that doesn't resonate with Dallas when it comes to the playoffs. The last game of the season last year, we got manhandled by Sam Howell with all of our starters in there. That should have been the wake-up call. We got to figure that out.
Bro.
But it was just no production on offense, and then we went to San Francisco, no production on offense. I don't think, and I hate saying this, I don't think Dak can take the next step to be clutch when he needs to be clutch and capitalize in these moments too, because a lot rides on him, and I haven't seen a clutch Dak Prescott since his rookie year. You remember that game with the Steelers? It was Dak and Zeke's rookie year.
That was a great
I was
game.
Dak is clutch, but since then I've never felt that way. And he's 30. Clock's ticking. Mm-hmm. And we have to pay a lot of people in the next 2 years. And I don't think, even the last play of the game, Dak's pass to Brandon Cooks, there was a linebacker right in front of him. And it was just
So
I don't know.
Before this game, what were your season predictions?
I said we're not going to make the playoffs. I think this is I thought this year was going to go so poorly. Something was going to happen that whether it's quarterback or coaching, kind of like a Chargers moment where nothing's fucking clicking. And
so what about after the Cardinals? What's your current season prediction?
I think we can still make the playoffs. I'd be shocked if our roster does not make the playoffs, even without Trevon Diggs.
So you're more optimistic after this game than you were before this game.
But today's loss was so reflective of my reasoning, if that makes sense. That was the perfect example of why this team will not win the Super Bowl. And there's better teams in the NFC than we thought. Like,
Yep.
like I don't know. Like by the end of the season, if the Cowboys or the Buccaneers are gonna grab that wild card spot, like that's a realistic thing to worry about.
So you have Eagles locking down that division.
We can't compete with that.
What do you have us going on the year against the Eagles?
0-2. We have no one that can guard those receivers, man.
No, I think they go 1-1.
Dude, you are depressing to talk to, bro.
I am a
I think they go
negative
1-1.
Cowboys fan.
Bro, I've seen it firsthand. It's really hard to be an away team and go into Dallas and get a win. And that's going to be especially true this year because the vibes are so up around the place in general. It's hard to think about that right now, but over the course of the season, like people are buying into this team more than they have in probably the last 10 years.
For sure.
Dallas is going to be crazy. AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, it's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy place for a team to show up, let alone the fucking Eagles of Philadelphia.
I mean, if Micah Parsons can
What's
cause
wrong
havoc,
with the
then-
fucking Eagles?
but-
No, he just doesn't
They're
like
fine.
He just didn't pick them.
They're fine. They're
He's got to
fine.
stick by his predictions.
No, it's not even. I'm not just sticking
I've got
blindly
Eagles
by
in
my
the Super
prediction.
Bowl, so.
The Eagles they just don't inspire me. They don't inspire me.
No, you're going off that stat. You're leaning on that stat heavy.
That stat did
I-
guide my thinking, yes. But listen. Just talking about the Eagles for a second here. They lost their offensive coordinator. They lost their defensive coordinator, who is, by the way, doing a phenomenal job with the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, my God, this guy's amazing.
No wonder we lost.
His
The
personality is
Eagles coach
crazy,
beat
but
us.
he's turned the Cardinals into a damn good team and a fun team to watch. I mean, oh my goodness, shout out this guy. I just don't see it with the Eagles. They have problems, and every team that makes it to the Super Bowl has problems the following year. It always happens. They always end up under delivering on their expectations.
I don't. It's just like their rookie class is so good, like already.
Jalen Carter's looked
Like he's a
amazing so
top
far.
10 defensive tackle.
We'll
right
see.
now.
We'll see when they play a tough team because they haven't played anyone significant yet.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys will go like either 0-2 or 1-1, and then like that. It's crazy how that much depends on a defensive player, but it really does depend. Like even watching today, the only big defensive stops we got was because of Micah Parsons was near the ball. Like he gets. I swear to God, every fucking tackle, he is always right there when the tackle is made.
Yeah.
Like he has to go bananas.
I mean,
that's
that
the
was
only
our-
way we can
That
stop
was our
him.
first game with Donovan Wilson back. I mean, our secondary was
Thank God he's back too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our safeties. I love our safeties.
yeah, but like
You wish you had Malik Hooker still.
I
You
mean, we
wish.
had a pretty good game today with
we
our
still
defense.
have Curse, I think. But
I'm pretty happy with what we got in
Curse is a
Indianapolis.
dog.
and I really like Deron Bland.
Yeah, me too.
I really like him, but he's not. He can't play in the slot anymore because
Well, he fucked
Trevon
up.
Diggs is
He kind
not
of fucked
there.
up today.
yeah, like, and I was stoked about Stephon Gilmore, but like for the first 3 games, Stephon Gilmore has not looked good. He got like 4 pass interference calls against
like
the
hit or
Jets
miss.
last
He
week.
got
Like,
burned by Garrett Wilson.
yeah,
No,
it's-
that was Trevon.
he also did get on the touchdown. He got
On the
burnt.
touchdown.
The 68-yarder, he got
Oh
torched.
yeah.
I would.
Malik Hooker missed a tackle on that one.
He's just not. I mean, he's a guy that's torn his ACL and he's 33. Like he can't be cornerback 1.
He's a second corner. We were expecting him to be with Diggs.
All right, just going around the room here. Who wins the NFC East? Dermot,
Eagles.
Grant,
Cowboys.
Ivy.
I really thought I'd say Cowboys before the game, but that's good. Yeah, it's Eagles. They're just clutch. Like
They just
Okay.
they find
they
ways
win.
to win games.
They can win the close games.
No love for the Commanders. I'm disappointed.
Speaking
Next
we
four.
saw what happened today.
speaking of the Commanders.
I'll take the Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys.
Next 5 games. Give me your record prediction.
All right, so we got Patriots. That is going to be a tough game.
Just coming off the L though.
Yeah,
It's
but
at home.
Patriots play dirty. Like
Oh,
What a
big play.
touchdown.
Is that Pickens?
No, that's
Austin.
yeah.
Austin.
Damn, I almost picked him up this week too.
Oh,
no.
flag. It's coming back.
Patriots. We can win that game. Like we can win that game. Niners, no.
No.
Chargers. Oh,
in LA, Monday Night Football.
Right after a 49ers loss.
win. Yeah.
Chargers find
Sean
ways to
McVay
lose.
is going to destroy Mike McCarthy. I'm saying Rams for that one. And in Philly, yeah, Eagles.
So you have the Cowboys going 2-3 in their next 5.
2-5, yeah, 2-5 next five.
2-3. So that would take them to a record of 4-4 after 8 games.
I
Wow.
don't think that's a horrible prediction. That's a tough
Like
schedule.
the Rams don't have a great roster, but if you're gonna it's Mike McCarthy versus Sean McVay, like I don't really trust Mike McCarthy to outcoach Sean McVay. Like I really don't. We can beat the Chargers, but that's gonna be a fight. The Eagles are gonna whomp us in Philadelphia.
Just to touch on the Cowboys-Niners game, the fourth quarter podcast will be going live for that game. So if you want to, check in for a live episode of the podcast, please tune in. Sunday night, the 8th of October, should be a great game between two juggernauts in the NFC.
Oh.
And I got the Cowboys. I'm just going to say it right now. I got the Cowboys winning that game. I'm still bought in on the fucking Cowboys. They're still my Super Bowl team. Not to win it all, but to make the Super Bowl.
So have you seen anything from the 49ers that gives you any
Oh my God, the 49ers look great. The 49ers look phenomenal.
They are like the most perfectly well run.
But
Yeah.
they have not played a defense like the Dallas Cowboys. They have not played an edge rusher like Micah
Well,
Parsons.
Josh Dobbs did just put up 28 points on the Cowboys defense, so like
We will see what happens. We will see
they
what
gotta
happens.
fix some
Cardinals-
shit.
In the context of the whole season, they have not gone up against a defense like
The
that.
Cardinals just ran the ball for 7.5 yards a carry against the Cowboys. What do you think the 49ers...
I think Christian McCaffrey could get 200 yards against the Cowboys. Like, we don't do well with like star like players.
Well, we will see. We will see how it goes.
It was very spontaneous. At least you're going to be free.
Yeah, that should be.
Any other points you guys want to touch on in this episode?
What time are we at?
We're about an hour and 8 minutes right now.
That's a good time.
Yeah. How'd you guys do in fantasy this week?
Not great.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't think well though.
I think maybe 1 and 2.
My team is falling apart.
Oh, breaking news. Mike McCarthy takes blame for the loss today.
Good coaching.
Can you go into detail?
He says he needs to do better with red zone opportunities. Yeah, no shit. No shit, Mike. You do. Yes. That is an accurate statement. So
Good coaching.
he needs to go smash a watermelon. That's what he needs to do. But
Yeah, I think I'm going to 3-0 this week, guys.
congratulations. That was awesome.
In for real, though?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
tough.
taking down Team Norris.
I will be going 0-3 this week.
I got beat.
Cooper Kupp and J.K. Dobbins.
I started Bateman, bruh. I don't know why I started Bateman
Yeah.
over Dobbs.
Who'd you lose to? Is that Jason?
Yep.
I still
Man.
have a chance.
Did you guys see that trade that Jason did with Reed?
Yeah, it was big.
Sending Bijan over to NFL Youngboy. Reed's got a good team, man.
It's a close one.
He does. I got a chance this week.
I really should have picked Tyreek Hill over Travis Kelce.
I mean, I told you he was going to go for 2K.
Yeah, everyone's regretting.
Look at my
taking
bench, though.
Chase
Look at my
over
bench.
him or-
Who's everyone's MVP candidate through?
Oh, never mind. Mostert's on
3
my bench in
weeks.
the other league.
Grant, you're still on Tua, I assume.
Yeah, but
MVP
who else is
candidate.
who else is in the run?
Probably like Tyreek Hill, to be honest.
For real.
Like, which is
Uh,
people are clamoring for a
Josh
people are clamoring
Allen.
for a non QB to win.
No.
I think Josh Allen still got a good shot.
Josh Dobbs.
I mean, he went off the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but he's not a front runner right now.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs. I mean, he's in with a shout. You know, he's had a couple great weeks for
You're
Arizona.
a cocksucker.
How about Jordan Love?
He's looking good. I like him a
Yeah.
lot.
Team looks solid.
Did he look well today? I didn't watch the game. How did he look today?
He looked good.
I mean, his team had a 3-score comeback in the fourth quarter. So
He missed one wide open throw. It was like a middle of the field open cover 2, cover 4 scenario,
Got it.
and they leaked Musgrave right up the middle, and he was wide open, butt naked, and he missed him.
I don't
Damn.
think he's an MVP candidate.
Oh no!
I like him though. I think he's.
I do like him.
I think he's the. I think they'll have him for a few seasons at least on the Packers, but
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody else that sticks out to me as MVP.
Finally, the Commanders got exposed for being
Hey, man.
Yeah.
a shit team. Like,
Finally.
about time. They did beat the Cardinals, so I'll give them props to that one.
Sam Howell did not look good at all today.
Yeah.
No, he looked trash.
Speaking of Sam Howell, you want to drop your breaking news?
Yeah, sure. Well,
Oh, shit. This is it.
Sam Howell, yeah. Sam Howell's, questionable guy. He's never had a hamburger before, and he's never had a bite of steak before. That's true. That's not the breaking news. I have a source who knows someone that used to be a teammate with Sam Howell. And Sam Howell has a microscopic penis. So if you think your team can go all the way with a quarterback with a microscopic penis, that's bold,
I think the term is micropenis.
That gives a lot of insight.
Yeah.
I love
It
that.
really does.
I love the Commanders hate.
And that
Yeah.
explains their performance today.
Yeah.
Who do you hate the most in our division?
Oh, the Eagles, without a doubt.
Growing up, though,
It's the Eagles still.
Eagles still.
Yeah, man. I hated Carson Wentz so much. And
Where are you from?
Richmond.
Oh,
Realistically, I think
Yeah.
every Cowboys fan that's not from the DC area hates the Eagles the most.
I don't know, dude. Redskins used to give me so much shit.
But they've
bro.
never-
That's why I
but they've
said from
never
the DC
given-
area.
being in DC, bro. That's different, bro.
Yeah. That's true. That's
going
true.
to school with a Romo jersey. Oh my god, bro.
You're asking for it if you're wearing a
That was
Romo jersey.
brutal,
Though,
bro.
so.
Win or loss.
Man, this guy wore a fucking Des Bryant to the Ravens game today.
I still got
so-
shit for it. Yeah. They were
He
meaner
played
to
for the
me.
Ravens.
He did. I don't know why people were upset about that.
That's a cold jersey. Let me peep that.
I think this is the second jersey I ever got. My first. It's a really sad story.
Oh my god, it's Stitch.
I got a DeMarco Murray jersey the day before he went to the Eagles for my birthday. It was really
I
bad.
got a Ray
Damn.
Rice jersey. the
Talk about
season
poor
before
timing.
That happened. So
Oh.
that might
The murder.
Yeah.
It wasn't the murder. It was the.
Oh.
It was just the.
Oh, I thought you said Ray Lewis.
It was just
Oh.
the
I was like,
elevator
what?
incident.
Yeah.
Ray Rice.
It was,
Dude, I
it was
used to
just.
have
That's
Ray
tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it's been repurposed into a Dobbins.
You know, he was on the
jersey now.
sideline last week for the Ravens game.
He was?
He was on the sideline.
Yep.
That's bold. I think
What's your jersey collection looking like?
let's see. I got a good one. So I got DeMarco Murray. I got Des Bryant. You remember Chidobe Awuzie?
What the
I
fuck?
have a
Camaros?
rookie year Chidobe
Oh.
Awuzie jersey when he used to wear number 33. I had that.
That's cold.
I have a Micah Parsons jersey. I have an Ezekiel Elliott jersey. I have a Dak Prescott jersey. I'm a
what are these? Just away and home? Dark? What do you like?
I have. It's a weird. I don't know where.
Oh my
I got
God,
a
this
Dak.
is a great
Yeah.
conversation.
So I have DeMarco Murray and Dez blue. I have
DeMarco Murray, Des Blue.
Yeah. Then I have a Micah Zeke white, and then I have a Dak random. It's like a white jersey, but
Their
it's a
color
weird
rush?
looking jersey.
Their color rush, with
Maybe.
the star right here.
No, not that. It's
Oh.
I don't know, some random special edition jersey I think that I got.
Like Michael Ness.
Maybe I'll send you a picture of it because it looks weird, but
It might
So
have been
I have
some
a-
military edition because it's like this weird.
it
shade
might
of
be
gray,
military
right?
edition. Yeah,
Which one is that one?
it's like a gray
No, which
number.
player?
Oh, Dak,
Dak.
and then I have a Cheeto Bay blue.
Cheetah Bay Blue.
So that's
33.
six Cowboys
Having
jerseys.
non-Cowboys jerseys.
I also got a Matthew
Yeah, talk about
Stafford
that.
one.
Lions?
Matthew Stafford,
Rams or Lions?
Rams.
Wow.
I have a Jameis Winston Bucks.
Wow. So you really do like Jameis.
I fucking my guy. He is my guy. I got another one, but I have a Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah.
I have
You said
a
that earlier.
Jalen Hurts Oklahoma jersey.
Wow.
Before he was drafted by the Eagles, so that one hurts a lot.
No, I fuck
but
with Hurts.
I loved him in college.
Yeah, me too.
that was torture.
The way he handled the benching
yeah.
in the national championship.
What other?
That's how I
I think
knew he
that's
was
all
a
the
dog.
NFL's like.
Do you have any non-Cowboys jerseys or historically?
Like currently,
No, just your favorite jerseys that have not been Cowboys players. Do you have?
I had a Ryan Grant running back for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay,
I just had that because I like Grant on
that's
the back,
sick.
and I like the Packers. That was my second team back in the day. I had a Ray Lewis. I had a Ben Roethlisberger.
Nice.
I had an Aikman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Tony Romo. I have an Alvin Kamara.
That's
I
really
have
cool.
a black one. And then I have a white CeeDee Lamb and a white Micah Parsons from China.
Cool. That's fair.
Yeah. And then I have a Dak throwback. That's
Very
my
nice.
that's my crown
I
jewel.
know that
Nice.
one, of course.
And I also have a Navy, exactly like that one, custom number 8 Robinson,
Okay. Nice.
Grant Robinson.
Very nice. All right, man.
I fuck with that one.
Yeah.
I grew into that one.
I feel like I might one day I'll decide to get a custom jersey.
What
But
number? What number?
I'm 4 because I'm a 4th, so I have to be 4.
I wore 4 for football.
But I'm gonna hold off on getting more Cowboys jerseys because like something tells me like
You got a good
people could
collection.
shift, you know.
Yeah.
Like I get nervous getting it hurts more having like a former player's jersey.
Yeah, that Sheeta Bay Awuzie one was.
Yeah. But I know. I was hoping he would turn into
That's
a Hall of
so
Famer.
cold, though.
If I had
That's
his
so
rookie
cold.
year jersey, because he changed his number, I would have his rookie
Yeah.
year Cowboys jersey.
That's like Diggs 27.
yeah. I need to find that Awuzie jersey, but
Yeah, you have a
No.
good Cowboys collection.
thank you.
What's
Yeah,
your
I need
next
to.
jersey?
All right, so the reason I'm a Cowboys fan is because my grandfather went to the Naval Academy and he played with Roger Staubach,
Oh
so we're
my
the same football
fuck.
team. Yeah, so that's why we're fans. I really wish it was like any other player, but like not the Cowboys, man. They torture me, but yeah. So I want a Roger Staubach.
My dad has one.
I would love a Dion jersey. I love
That's
a Dion because
cool.
my dad told me the story. He had never told me the story before. He got to like hang out with Deion Sanders at a Yankees training camp.
Wow.
So
That's it.
yeah, I'd love a Dion.
But
I'd love a
non-Cowboys? You said you wanted non-Cow. I thought you said
Romo. Oh,
you
a
got one.
non-Cowboys.
Like, would you go Cowboys next, or would you go non-Cowboys?
I'll go
next?
non-Cowboys next.
So
but
what-
I gotta
so which one?
look on eBay for them.
What players are you looking at?
I like finding like funny like NFL or like just funny jerseys in general. Like I have a Bucks Cream City jersey, and then I also have a Jimmy Butler Minnesota Timberwolves jersey. Those are like
That's
some of
cool.
my favorites because like
I like
there's
that.
disaster.
He's got
So
a
it's-
Michael Kidd Gilchrist jersey too.
I do. Michael Kidd Gilchrist jersey on the Bobcats. That one's an all timer. I don't know. Like I just
Like, are you thinking about player, or like would you think about more like jersey style? Like, what team
I
has the
think-
best throwback?
I think a
or some
Carson
shit?
Palmer or a Carson Palmer Raiders jersey would be
Okay.
crazy
That would
because
be
that one year he was on the
'Cause
Raiders.
that's what he
Okay.
was.
I gotta like hunt for some like
That would actually be hilarious.
there just needs to be like a funny situation.
You could
that I
get
would
Taco Charlton.
Fuck that. That might be the biggest.
I hope that makes it into the pod.
Because we drafted him over TJ Watt, and that will haunt me for the rest of my life, man.
I never knew
Like
that.
that's
knew
my
that.
Jalen Rager to Justin Jefferson story for the Eagles. Like we really drafted Taco Charlton right before TJ Watt, and they played the same position. So
Yeah.
like that really hurt.
That's bad.
That is bad.
But then we wouldn't have had Micah. Think about that.
Yeah, true.
No, that's facts.
Because we wouldn't have needed him. True, but TJ Watt is like an alien. So
Amazing.
Ned, what's
Damn.
your jersey collection?
In terms of NFL, it's a pretty shallow collection. I got an Andrew Luck jersey. Unfortunately, it's a youth large, so I can't rock it too much. But it is up on the wall back at home.
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that's
I got Jamar Chase because I love that
I
guy.
love that one.
Had him on my fantasy team.
That one's black
and,
too.
Oh yeah, if I
That
ever
was
win a
play style.
fantasy league, I'm
It's a
definitely getting the
beautiful
jersey
jersey.
of whoever wins me
Yeah.
the league.
Um,
Oh my god.
and then I have this Marvin Harrison jersey, and I'm
That one's
hoping
You gonna get an AR one?
I'm hoping to add a Marvin Harrison Jr. Colts jersey
That would
next
be
year,
sick.
but we'll see what happens in the draft.
What would be your next one?
Next NFL jersey, definitely not the Colts. I need to diversify the collection a little bit.
Really?
Wait,
you wouldn't
Ned.
go AR?
No,
What?
No.
Ned, would it?
he's not proven enough. Like if I'm gonna invest $150 into a jersey,
All right, you're.
it's
you're-
got to be
you're
into a
not
guy
Ivey.
who I know I can rock for like the rest of
Yeah,
my life. You know,
well, like
Fair enough.
if Marvin Harrison goes to the Colts, Wouldn't he just get the same number as
Yeah,
Dad?
you're gonna have an 88.
And like,
Yeah,
wouldn't you just have a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey?
exactly right.
No. It's gonna if he wears 88, I'm still getting it because it's gonna say Junior on the back, and then I'm gonna have both, and then I'm gonna hang him up at the crib. I got you.
Different color.
I got you. I'm gonna hang them up on the wall next to
Yeah,
each
you
other,
should do white.
and we're gonna see Harrison, and we're gonna see Harrison
white would be
Jr.,
good.
and it's gonna be beautiful.
The white jersey is just so much cooler than the blue.
Yeah.
But the
I
junior,
think if I got a new one,
Junior's cool.
my next jersey would have to be like Puka Nakua or some like hipster player
Hell
like that.
no, bro.
on,
Like he's gonna be. I don't think. Yeah, he's
Nakua,
gonna be fine.
Nakua Rams jersey, that's 17. It's kind of tough.
I would get a Zach Martin jersey too. I forgot about that.
Zach Martin?
because he's never leaving.
You
so.
can't get an offensive.
He's never done
line.
anything
Hall of
wrong.
Famer, too.
He's never done anything wrong in his life. Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe like a who's that?
Peyton Manning.
Who was that wide receiver on the Giants who was really really good?
Victor Cruz.
No, not Cruz. Not
Damn,
Cruz.
I really thought that would be it.
No, Mario Manningham, that guy.
Wasn't he a tight end?
No, I think he was
He
receiver.
was not that good. He just made big plays.
He made that catch. Yeah.
Something
What's a
like
very?
that.
What's another like niche?
I think
player.
my next jersey would probably be Chris Olave.
That's
That's
sick.
cold.
I want to say
Repping New
I like
Orleans.
Saints.
I think a Rashid Shaheed jersey would be
That would be
fucking
cool.
awesome.
I'd rather get that than Olave.
Maybe a Bijan Robinson as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Bijan.
I think that would be my next.
I think Zay Flowers too. I'll get a Zay Flowers jersey.
I saw a lot of Justin Tucker jerseys at the game today.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because there was quite a long period of Ravens history, at least the second half of Flacco's career, where you didn't want to buy anybody else's jersey because you did not know.
You didn't
they
know
were
what was gonna
gonna-
happen. Yeah.
Like, I really wanted to get a CJ Mosley jersey.
A Flacco 19
left.
Jets jersey would be so cool though. When he was number
Flacco on the
19.
Jets.
Yeah. He was number
Um,
19.
But yeah, like, I didn't.
What
That's
a
why I
wild
didn't
number.
get Ravens jersey for a long time until Lamar Jackson. Because you can never rely on a guy staying there forever, at least during
Yeah.
that era, except for Justin Tucker.
What's y'all's least favorite like player number combo in the NFL right now? Because this number rule has ruined the NFL.
Oh, player
Oh,
number.
dude, I like everything about it.
There was some that I see off the top.
Tell
of
me
my
that Sky
head.
Moore should be 24. like
that's
tell me, man. Tell me. Josh
That's
Jacobs 8. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
That's
like
horrible.
That's
cold.
No, that's horrible.
why would he change it?
28 was
He's the
perfect
best
for the
one
guy.
over.
It's really good for him.
Nah, 8 is cold.
He looks slower with 8 somehow.
No, that's just him being worse.
8 is cold,
He
bro.
didn't have training camp. I think, yeah, that's up there. The Sky Moore 24 is
Yeah, that one's
really,
bad.
really bad.
That is a bad.
That's
one.
really bad.
What else is there?
Ken Walker wearing 9.
No way.
I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
No, I don't love it.
Like,
don't
Jameer
love
Gibbs shot up
He
into
wore
a
that in
favorite
college.
player because he decided to wear 26. Like,
Yeah,
26
that's what I'm
is a
saying. I
great
love the
number.
players that wear the proper numbers. It's
26
great.
is so
Romeo
good.
Dobbs, 87, man. Oh my god, I love it. Inject it.
We need more. I'm worried that like the receivers with a like 80 something number is like fading into
Extinction.
extinction. Like those are the best
Yeah.
wide receivers ever.
Yeah.
What's another really bad number?
I'm trying to think defense because there's definitely some like.
Oh, there's a
linebackers
linebacker for the
that-
Packers that wears number 7.
Oh, Quay Walker. I
Fucking
hate that
awful
so
looking
much.
jersey.
I hate that. I don't hate Roquan Smith 0 and Patrick Queen 6 is okay, but Quay Walker 7 disgusting.
Nasty. Gotta change it.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm
Middle
the complete
linebacker.
opposite.
Oh my God,
Packers
there's
should
a-
never be
Who?
single digit.
Oh my god. Darren Waller 12. like what on earth?
Yeah, that's bad. That's
what was he
bad.
with the Raiders?
83.
83.
He looks like an 83, you know? He
Yeah.
plays like an 83.
12 is ugly.
12?
No.
Oh. What's another?
It's like Travis Kelsey going to like number 5. It's just bad.
Oh,
Bad.
God.
Make him
Could
look
you
so fat.
imagine?
I don't really like Hollywood number 2.
No. What was he before? Like
He
87?
was 5 for the Ravens and 15, but 2 on him just looks like he should be a return man.
He should be like
I don't know, it
11.
just looks weird.
I think it's a
What's the
problem. I think
difference
this is a
between
serious
2
problem
and
I don't
that
know,
Goodell
it
has to
just
deal
looks
with.
bad.
This is a
It-
serious
yeah.
problem. Like these numbers, like it's bad for the league.
It's harder to like coach if you think about it from an offensive perspective because you're playing against cornerbacks with a number like 9 and 12
Yeah.
and like usually you could point out who's what position based on number, and now it's like really hard to disguise. Like I feel like you have to memorize people's numbers a lot more now as a offensive player trying to, whether you're lined up against a linebacker or a cornerback. What's another bad one?
I don't like Marlon Humphrey 44.
I like that.
I don't
I like
really
that.
corners wearing 40s.
It's a little bummish, but he rocks it.
He rocks it,
Mhm.
but in general, I can't think of any other corners that wear numbers
Well,
in the 40s.
Yeah, it's all the pick.
Pick.
It's a bum number, but that's what makes numbers great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to wear 29, and then he switched to 44.
Really?
Every year I hear about Jimmy Garoppolo, like he's on the right offense. Like Jimmy Garoppolo's gonna have a decent, good year.
I hate
Jimmy
it.
Garoppolo has sucked every year he's played football, and like I'm mind blown that teams still consider him a threat. Like he threw for 7 yards in a playoff game. Like that's crazy. And I think they won that game. It was against the Packers.
Yeah,
they won that game.
The record speaks for itself, man.
Crazy.
This guy makes the plays he has to make to win the game, and that's
He was
that's
on the
big.
49ers. That's what it was.
He makes the plays he has to make to win the game.
Matthew Judon is like number 9. I hate that.
Yeah, he was 55 before, right?
That's
No, he was 99.
that is a
99's cold.
great number.
Yeah, 99
99's
is the
cold.
best number for an edge rusher.
Oh man.
Nah, it's definitely 11.
So Ivy, if
I
you
don't
were,
like
we
that
talked about this
either,
last
but
episode.
since he's kind of
If you were a
hybrid
running
player,
back
so-
and you could pick your number, what would it be?
If I was a running back and I could pick my number, I need something that's gonna make me feel like really fucking fast. Number 3, 4,
I like
Or
4 Kings
like-
Bigsby.
yeah, or like 21 or like 25. I think like if you're 28, you're slow.
When's your
Yeah,
birthday?
I was gonna say 20
March
or
30th.
21.
30 is a fast number.
30
30
's
is a
tough.
fast number.
Yeah, why don't you fuck with
Aaron
your birthday?
Jones. Nah, he's 33.
I'm the 4th. I have to.
You're
That's where
4.
Ivy comes from, because I'm the 4th.
True.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's cold.
yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely rock the 4.
yeah. You gotta rock the 4. Or I could do number 30 and have like Cheney Ivy on the back. That might be cooler.
Yeah.
That might be actually a lot cooler.
I
T.
think that
Higgins
would
wearing
look...
8, man. Like this shit's
5. He's 5. Oh my God,
me
James
see,
Cook
No,
is
that's
4.
cold.
That I don't like.
Dalvin Cook is 4. I hate that.
Yeah, why did Dallas
33 was so good.
I like 20 as a running back number. I don't know any that are still. I mean, Barry Sanders, obviously legendary.
Tony Pollard.
Felix
Tony
Jones
Pollard.
was 20.
Ed Reed was 20. Ed Reed was my favorite player growing up. So if I was running back,
What's
Reed
your
and
jersey
Barry.
collection?
Right now, pretty much just Lamar Jackson. I've had a lot over the years. I used to have
What is your
a
past one?
Brian Westbrook jersey from the Eagles. Torrey Holt. I had Todd Heap and Derek Mason from the Ravens.
What would be your next one?
Probably Chris Olave or somebody
Non-Raven?
Somebody, yeah. Next non-Ravens would be the Saints, just because I love New Orleans. But my next Ravens jersey would be Zay Flowers. Probably in white,
That'd be cool.
because I have the Lamar jersey in black, and the purple's just kind of basic. So I want a white jersey.
All right, you guys want to call it there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Solid podcast episode. Got an hour 30 on the clock, so it's been one of our longer ones. Very fun as always. Ivy, thank you very much for
Thank
showing
you guys
up.
for having me. It was a lot of fun. It was a
Fantastic
lot
to
of
have you.
fun.
Did
A
great
lot of fun.
on your podcast debut. And yeah, if you guys have any, topics of conversation, just DM us, throw it down in the comment section. We love to hear from you guys. So yeah, unless there's anything else you guys want to say.
Peace out.
Yeah, till next time.
Until next time.
Awesome.
Peace.